Hello, I'm Jody Wolf, and you're watching Expoz October 18, 2017, 10:21 p.m., Birmingham. Topic is Harvey. Now we know why. Guys, let me get to it. Give me a moment. 1991, you all remember the perfect storm. This crazy storm that brewed up that nobody knew what was going on, but you had two storms that merged, and they called it the perfect storm. Okay, that was happening 2 days as it brewed and didn't know what it was going to do. And then as Bush sat down at the table to divide and give up the West Bank of Israel for peace, within that 2 hours, the perfect storm hit and removed George Bush's home, Sr., off of the beach in Kennebunkport, Maine. September 9/11, we'll never forget it. 17 days prior to 9/11, George Bush Jr. and Crown Prince Abdullah of Jordan, they sat down to work out a two-state nation or two-state solution out of Israel. The work was finished on 9/10. And prior to the announcement, which they were set to make that announcement, 9/11 happened. It was already in play, but God did not stop it. That's a judgment. Katrina. It happened 2 hours after George Bush Jr. and Sharon agreed to give up 9,500 Israeli citizens and synagogues and evicted them from their homes, and you remember the bulldozers going through. As that happened, Katrina was going through Louisiana in a very large part of all the way up through Alabama. George Bush Jr. and Katrina, that was the evicting of 9,500 Jewish citizens and restoring their housing. Okay, West Bank has a lot to do with this because, well, let me take that back. It's not the West Bank. It is us that has a lot to do with this. But let me tell you this. The worst ever outbreak, storm-wise, in history, the major tornado outbreak, which there were multiple days and days and days that this happened, it was all in 2011 when Obama was involved in peace process against Israel, not for, against Israel. We got hammered and over and over and over. Harvey. I told you that I couldn't come up with anything that would make me feel like Trump had gone against the Jews. But clearly, Harvey had to have been some kind of judgment. Well, now we know. Kushner, and I recall me saying that. The only thing I can think of is Kushner did something in stopping the moving of the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. Well, it wasn't that. But Kushner did go to all the nations around the Persian Gulf and then the northern rim of the Red Sea to build up support to go against the Jews and sign off and say, we will give you protection if you will convince and help us receive a two-state solution inside of Israel. That's why Harvey, that's why we got hit so doggone hard. That's why Harvey and then Irma, then Jose. That's the direct reasons for those storms. They were judgments. And you can thank Kushner for doing that. The day he landed, first he went to these other nations and then he landed in Israel. The day he landed in Israel was the day Harvey hit. If you recall, Harvey spun around for days out there. Nobody knew what it was going to do. And all of a sudden it picked up steam. That's because Kushner was picking up steam to side with him in going against and try to take land from Israel for a two-state solution. All right, now you ready for this? I'm going to tell you why the fires are in California. But first, let me go here. Total, there's been 171 billion-dollar events since the 1991 Madrid Peace Accord. This is the Land for Peace, 1991, the perfect storm. That was the #1 event that went against the United States. The first billion-dollar event, now keep in mind, multiple events like Andrew was $22 billion. And then Harvey, Irma, and Jose was excess of $500 to $600 billion. And you can thank, again, Kushner for that. I believe from here on out you'll see that Trump's reins will be a little bit tighter on who he releases to do some work for him on his behalf. All right, California, are you ready? Find out why you're being judged today, why you got all these fires going. It'll be a simple way to put it out. But what you're seeing on your screen right now, 3 genders now recognized in California. 3 genders. Guys, that's why California is burning. Because California is still going against God and a man and a woman that he ordained to go, be fruitful and multiply. He said when he created Adam and Eve to do that, he did not create Adam and Steve. I'm just telling you, you're going to continue to burn until you end that in California. In Israel, America's future, what's next for us? Trump, being in place, stands with Israel as the Vice President Pence does, and as the most of the Republican side do as well. Kushner did not help. He will be on a short lease from here on. For now, get this, we should look for a time to rebuild, a time to heal, a time to repair, a time to prosper. We're about to change. And I said Trump destroyed bail in foreign lands by cutting off the funding to abortion. Now he is on the mend, he's on the way, and he announced this on Monday. Right here in the United States, he is cutting off funding to abortion. He is going to destroy bail as he did in foreign lands. God told Job, I alone control the weather. I store up in the clouds hail for the day of judgment. America has had $171 billion plus judgments, except for 9/11 and a few more, like several stock market crashes. Not weather related, but most have been weather related, 171. As we bless Israel, will remain a major power. For today, with Trump, we start to heal. Today, in reference this, Bill KOENIG, Eye to Eye on Prophecy Watchers with Gary Stearman. Today, as we are saved, or if you are saved, we will prosper directly. If you're not saved, you will prosper indirectly. Guys, just figure it out. But watch Washington, watch Trump, watch Israel, and watch Iran. And make sure your prayer is with Israel against Iran. Make sure your prayer stands with Israel against Iran. And make sure that your prayers go to those in the underground churches throughout Iran, that there'll be so many that they may be able to stop Iran from putting a bullet to their own head. All right, the prosper. Proof, the tax break. It should go through soon. That's going to mean a family of 2 that's working, plus their children, that's going to be immediate $340 a month in their pocket. Immediately $340 a month in their pocket. Guys, if you can't live with this, wow. So That's where I am right now. I may have to do this thing again. If I don't, that means I'm okay with it. And I hope you are. Jody Wolf, Expoz.